All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm good.
What's going on? Welcome back to the Football Experience. Today it's just me and Louis, and we're going to do a Euro 2020 prediction. But first of all, we're going to talk about the England squad, which was announced. So it's the 26-man squad. The most controversial pick, I guess, was the Ben White one.
Yeah.
What did you think about the squad overall?
I didn't mind it, to be honest. I think there's a lot of positives to it. Obviously, there's going to be negatives to whatever he picks for certain people, Obviously, with the extra pick when Trent got injured, that was a bit of a difficult one. Because although I would have personally wanted to take Ward-Prowse, I think he put himself in a bad situation by taking people like Mings and Cody over Ben White in the first place.
Yeah, and Maguire's injured as well. He's not fit, right?
Meaning one of the others has to play, and I think he trusts White more than the other two, and I personally would as well. I think I like Ward-Prowse there, but I think he realised that he kind of just had to take White.
Yeah. I guess a lot of people saying Ward-Prowse should have got picked over Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult one. I think Southgate clearly likes Phillips because he gives him a lot of minutes for England since he's been in and around the squad. You could even argue over someone like Bellingham. I like Bellingham, but I don't know. He's a young player, and we're going to quite a big profile tournament. Like, is he ready for it? Will he even get a chance to be ready for it? Almost.
Yeah. I'm not too sure. I guess Bellingham has played well in the Champions League and stuff, but
I don't dislike Bellingham. Don't get me wrong. I just think Ward-Prowse has something that no one else does to his level, and I think that's sort of priceless for a team.
Yeah, I feel like it was easier for Bellingham to get in just because he's a youngster. They just want to take him.
Yeah,
for that reason.
Especially with if we're planning to play Grealish, like the amount of free kicks he wins. If we had Ward-Prowse on there to take the amount of those that we will get realistically, like it would be a great sort of recipe for goals, I guess, or at least creating chances. But not to say that we don't have good set piece takers, but not to his level. Not that there is many worldwide to his level.
Yeah, and also Saka got in the team as well.
I don't mind Saka. We were speaking about this earlier, but I think with Saka, like, he's good. He's just, I don't think personally that in his sort of, he can play in a few positions, which is good, which could be helpful. But I don't think he's better than anyone that we've got in any of those positions personally.
Yeah, I don't think Saka should have got into the team. Like, even though I do rate him as a player,
it just seems like an extra sort of, not pointless, but like just extra pick just for the sake of it.
Yeah, I can't see him playing, if I'm honest.
He might get a few minutes here and there, but he's not going to, be challenging for anyone starting spot. I don't think.
Yeah.
At this point in his career, anyway.
Yeah. So in the first game, a lot of people were talking about who will be playing on the right side, Trippier or was Reece James. Who do you think is going to be playing there?
I think it does depend on the formation. It does depend on whether we play the 4 or 5 back. Who plays? But I don't actually know because it obviously, it looks like Southgate's trying to put the 4 back in the friendlies we've had recently, but I can see him just going back to the 5.
Yeah.
And if it's the 5, I mean, I am biased, obviously, as a Chelsea fan, but I don't think it's really a question of who should be playing out of James and Trippier, personally. But obviously, if you're bringing Walker into the mix in a 4 back, then that could be a bit different story. I don't watch Walker as much, so I can't really comment. But I think that would be a bigger question than who to play sort of in the right wing back.
Well, so do you think Walker would play over Reece James if he got put at right back? Or
Not necessarily. I think what I'm saying is that I think those two are closer level wise than James and Trippier, for example. I don't think Trippier is a bad player, but I think the others bring a fair bit more. I would have brought even Wan-Bissaka over Trippier. Any of them lot, I would have brought over Trippier personally. But
yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let's get into the Euros predictions.
Mm.
So we've got up on an app, and we'll be filling it in through there. So let's start off with Group A. So Group A is Switzerland, Turkey, Wales, and Italy.
So a few tough teams. They're sort of average teams in terms of European quality, I guess.
Yeah.
I've got a few players written down that could be important for those countries. So Turkey, I think, with where Lille won the league last year in France, Yilmaz, he was sort of their talisman up front.
Yeah.
And for Turkey, I think he'll be important for them to, if they are to push through and beat, some teams that are fairly close to them, like Switzerland, Wales, level wise. I think that group should be sort of an interesting watch. I'd expect Italy to win it personally. I don't know what you think, but
Yeah. No. Yeah. I think Italy will win the group. Who do you think is gonna finish second?
I'm going Turkey second.
Okay. Okay.
I actually rate. Yeah, I think a few of their players have really sort of come into their own in the last year, and it's sort of good time for them. Obviously, Wales have got Bale, who you never know what he could do.
Mm. Yeah,
But
I've gone for Wales second.
Wales second, okay.
Yeah, because they got Bale, Ramsey. They got a few.
Yeah, I think there's so many positions where they're lacking for me. That I'm not. I'm actually. I don't know if this is a bold call or not, but I'm putting Wales fourth.
Okay.
I'm putting Switzerland third. I think I don't really know much about Switzerland, to be honest. I just know they've got Shaqiri, who's a good little player.
Yeah, yeah. I think they got a few players in like the German leagues and stuff as well.
Yeah, they've got like a few good German league players. So
Yeah,
yeah, I've gone Italy, Turkey, Switzerland, Wales in Group A.
yeah. I've gone Italy, Wales, Turkey, and then Switzerland.
Okay, that'll be an interesting one to see then.
So now on to Group B, which is Russia, Belgium, Denmark, and Finland. Who have you put top of the group?
I mean, I'm obviously. I think Belgium's the obvious option to go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't think Denmark are too far off. It would surprise me. I'm not going to say it wouldn't surprise me, but Denmark are quite a good team as well, and they could cause them a few problems. People like Eriksson, Poulsen from Leipzig, I think.
Yeah,
They're
the
sort
striker, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
And then you're Belgium are missing. Well, I think for the first couple of games, maybe one, they're going to be missing De Bruyne after his Champions League injury.
mm.
So who knows? Belgium could. They seem to have a lot of individuals in that team, and although I think it'll be enough to get them to the top of the group, I don't think they'll contend as much as some people may think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. Because I've gone Belgium, then second Denmark, and then I went Russia, and then Finland.
Yeah, I went the same.
Yeah,
Russia have only, the only there's a couple of half decent players. I think the standout one is the same one who stood out in the World Cup last time, Golovin. He went on to move on to Monaco after
yeah,
that performance in the World Cup, and I think he'll be their main player this time around as well.
yeah. Russia's kind of a weird team, but they always seem to have quite a solid defense.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
yeah, I just think I don't think Finland would. Honestly, I don't know if do you think Finland will pick up many points?
I
Because I don't really think
it's
they
only
will.
one game against each team, isn't it?
Yeah,
I don't see them picking up any, to be honest. I don't.
yeah,
I've got their sort of key player. I don't know much about Finland, so if I'm wrong, I do apologise. But I've got their key player as Timo Pukki.
yeah.
He's not a bad striker. Don't get me wrong, but we've got sort of world class defences he's going to be up against,
Hmm.
and I just can't see. I can't see Finland getting any points. Maybe like at a stretch a draw against Russia or something. But
Yeah,
it's at a stretch, definitely.
yeah, definitely. Um, yeah. So Group C is Austria, North Macedonia, Ukraine, and Netherlands. Um, I've put Netherlands at the top of the group.
Yeah,
Have you done the same, yeah?
yeah. Obviously, they're missing probably one of their biggest players, Van Dijk. Not
Yeah,
that
definitely.
they're expecting anything different, but they've still got a good sort of solid squad. Depay seems to be playing well for them. Just signed for Barcelona as well.
Yeah,
He's going to be on top. Confidence. Obviously, alongside people like De Jong, Wijnaldum, De Ligt, just other players that are at top teams, and I don't think any of the teams in this group will give them too much to worry about.
yeah. I think they'll be pretty confident in this group. Obviously, there's Austria. I think they've got a few okay players, but they're not really going to be challenging Netherlands.
Yeah, I think Austria are a team of like half of their team is sort of Bundesliga players.
Yeah, because they've got people like Alaba.
Yeah,
I guess that's the main player people know from Austria.
yeah. I don't think there's any. I mean, there is a few other names that people will know, but not at Alaba's level.
Yeah, not like the top class level.
No, I've gone
Um,
for Austria third actually, where
okay, who have you got second?
I've got
Ukraine.
Ukraine second. I think that they've got some half decent players that
Yeah,
people don't even know about at this stage. They've
there's
also
that winger, right, from Schalke, is it?
oh, um,
I'm not sure.
I don't know which one you're on about at the moment, but they've got Yarmolenko, who's a West Ham. Zinchenko, he usually plays like attacking midfield for Ukraine,
Yeah,
where
yeah, that's true.
obviously left back for Man City, but he's a good player, and I think he'll be an important part of their team.
Yeah, definitely.
And then they've obviously got some Ukrainian league players, as expected. A few of them that people won't know because they've just stayed around in those sort of leagues. But I'm going to go with Ukraine second. So Netherlands, Ukraine, Austria, and North Macedonia in fourth.
Yeah, I've got Netherlands, Austria, Ukraine, and North Macedonia in fourth. If Macedonia get a point off, then they've done well.
Yeah, like the only player that I've heard of, I think, off the top of my head, is Alioski for Leeds, and
Yeah,
he doesn't even always play at Leeds. So
yeah, and you can't really have him carrying your team.
yeah,
Now the most important group now is Group D, England's group. So it's Scotland, England, Croatia, and Czech Republic. Who have you gone from top of the group?
obviously, I'm gonna back the boys, back England. I think we're gonna win this group. I think it'll be a bit shaky at times, as it tends to be with England, but I think we will top it.
Yeah,
I can see Scotland being, quite a tight match because of sort of everything that comes with a, two home nations sort of game against each other. But I'm actually, it might be a bit bold to say, but I'm going to go with England, Scotland as top
oh
two.
really?
Yeah, that's. I'm not 100% convinced on it. I'm sort of leaning towards almost switching Croatia, but I'm gonna stick with England, Scotland, Croatia, and then Czech Republic.
Yeah, I've got England, Croatia, then Scotland, Czech Republic.
I think
I wouldn't be surprised though if Scotland went for instead of Croatia,
Mm,
because I think the Croatia team that knocked us out in the World Cup is not the same
It's
same
just
thing.
an older version of it almost.
Yeah.
Like Modric is 35 and he's still going to be their main player. Obviously, they've got quite a good midfield. To be fair, they've got Kovacic, Modric, and who's the defensive midfielder? I can't remember, but they've got a few different decent players still. They've got Perisic as well.
Perisic. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of almost leaning towards changing it, but I'm going to stick with my first instinct. I think Scotland, what they've been missing for a while is, an actual goal scorer. And although I don't think Che Adams is necessarily complete goal scorer, I think he'll really help them in this tournament.
Yeah, I think there is a bit of a problem that he's their main striker, but
it's better than what they had. So
yeah, compared to what they would have before, I guess it's a upgrade. So let's go on to Group E. So that's Poland, Spain, Sweden, and Slovakia. I guess with Spain, they're a lot. It's not the same. They haven't been great for a while, but I guess now they got people like Laporte. It will be interesting to see how they perform.
Yeah, they do have a solid defense actually with Laporte, Pau Torres, who plays for Villarreal, I think. And then obviously the wing backs that have been around for quite a while, Alba, people like that. They've got a fairly decent squad. They've got a fairly young attacking line, Ferran Torres, people like that could, take them to a decent part. But I just don't think the experience is going to be enough overall on the pitch. With a lot, since they were sort of at their best in around 2010, 2014, those sort of tournaments with people like Iniesta in the team. They haven't quite got to that stage again ever since then.
Yeah, they haven't been the same, but I guess I say that in the best position Spain have been since they've kind of dropped off.
Yeah, I think they're sort of starting to get to that rebuild. I know it's not a rebuild because can't sign anyone, but they're slowly getting to that point where they seem to be building back up to where they were. Not maybe to that level, but as close as they can get.
Because they were so like dominant, and then they just, I guess did like a few players retire internationally or something? Because
it's just vital international players retiring.
Yeah,
because
Germany had the same problem.
Yeah. To be fair, they had all the Lahm and people like that all retiring at the same time.
Yeah.
Spain had Iniesta, Xavi a similar time-ish. I mean, I know Ramos hasn't retired and he wasn't picked for this squad, which is a surprise to me still. But I think he is past his best to an extent.
Yeah, definitely.
Who have you got second?
I've got Poland second.
Yeah, I've gone with that as well. I think Lewandowski's too much to look past when you're looking at these last three teams. I think he's going to be the difference.
They've also got that Napoli player. I can't quite remember his name, but they've got
Napoli.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, when you're looking at Sweden and Slovakia, I just don't think they're going to be bringing the same quality as Poland will be.
Yeah, I think just that Lewandowski up front is just going to make all the difference there. I think Sweden, they've got a couple of half decent players, but Forsberg is quite good. Isaac looks quite good, but he's still young. But this could be maybe a make or not make or break, but this could make his career almost if he turns up here.
Yeah, definitely.
Slovakia, looking back at their team, they've always sort of been carried a bit by Hamšík, who is 34 and playing in the Swedish league. So, you just can't really see them doing too much. They've got an all right defense, Skriniar from Inter Milan, but apart from that, they look quite weak overall.
Do you think Yeah, I'm just trying to think if like someone like Ibrahimovic was in the Sweden team, do,
Yeah,
do
I
you
don't.
think that would be a big difference to them? Or
It could. I think that sort of player can either it could really impact either positively or negatively on the squad.
hmm,
Because I think realistically, it didn't look great when it happened because he sort of just came out of retirement when they qualified. Um, he chose as soon as they qualified to come back and play, and I mean the team that got them there must have been not annoyed, but you know what I mean.
yeah, yeah, because I think a lot of a lot of the reason with him not playing as much internationally anymore is to do with him not being the best team player.
Hmm.
Like, but I guess that's what you expect from Zlatan. You can't really expect.
Yeah, it could massively like impact them if he was there, but I actually am quite excited to see what Isaac does.
Yeah,
Like I said, I think it could be a tournament that really sort of shows him out a bit more to the world. Uh,
yeah,
and that probably wouldn't have happened if Ibra was there.
definitely. So for Group E, mine are Spain, then Poland, Sweden, and Slovakia.
So mine are Spain, yeah, same. Spain,
Yep.
Poland, Sweden, Slovakia.
Now let's go on to Group F. So this is it's got France, Portugal, Germany, and Hungary. Um,
The
so
group,
yeah, so I've got Hungary bottom, obviously.
yeah, I think although I'd love to see you know, what's it called, an outsider in Hungary, and very much outsider, come and somehow get through. I just can't see it.
I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow got a like draw or something against Germany.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that, but
I don't think it's likely, but it wouldn't be like the craziest thing.
yeah, I mean, my sort of group order is relying on that not happening. As I'm actually going for Germany in second.
Oh really? Who have you got first?
I've got France first.
So you got Portugal third.
I've got Portugal third. I think because I've been looking. Obviously, there's this guy on TikTok that talks about the Portugal squad a lot,
Okay.
right? And so I know pretty much all there is to know now. Um, which,
Big uptake.
yeah, exactly. Like I've just been listening. And apparently, they don't really like playing Bruno.
Oh really?
Yeah, which
That's
surprised me a
interesting.
bit, but
Yeah.
they sort of like having some holding midfielders and then letting Ronaldo, Bernardo, and whoever else sort of do their thing. Um, I think if they have their full, like their best possible team, even if it isn't the sort of the style that they want, I'd put them ahead. But
Yeah.
it sounds like they're a bit sort of stuck in their ways.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Uh yeah, so you've gone Portugal third.
yeah, France, Germany, Portugal, Hungary.
Okay, so I've got France, Portugal, Germany, Hungary. So for
Germany,
the
Portugal will be close, but
yeah,
it's
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, I think I guess Portugal's main player obviously can
yeah.
any game like in Ronaldo.
Who knows? Because he doesn't run as much as he used to. He doesn't cover quite as much ground, But I do think, people like Felix that they have around. I mean, I'd like to include him as people like Bruno. I think they could create some good chances for him, and that he's going to finish good chances.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I guess players like Ronaldo and as well as obviously Messi's not in the Euros, but those type of players, they don't need to run a lot because they just run when they need to.
yeah, that they may not be as good as they used to be because of that, but when it comes to certain things, like you see that quality that they've always had come out again.
Yeah. So for the uh, four best third place teams, who have you gone with?
So firstly, I'll just read out the teams that I've got to choose from.
Yep.
So that's Switzerland, Russia, Austria, Croatia, Sweden, and Portugal. I think it's a difficult one because you're relying on them probably getting one win.
Yeah.
Have to look through and sort of see who's gonna get a win rather than just like a draw or something. I'm gonna put Portugal. Obviously, I think they'll beat Hungary at the very least, and it wouldn't surprise me if they went through ahead of third. By the way, but I'm just sort of going out on them with that one. I'm gonna go with Sweden as well. Portugal, Sweden, Croatia, and Austria. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So which teams did you miss out on that?
I missed out on Switzerland and Russia.
Okay.
It's difficult. Like I think there's a few teams that all they need is a small thing to happen and it could switch it around. Russia realistically probably only need to get a win against Finland and maybe they've got a chance of getting a point against Denmark or something. So it is close between a few teams, but yeah, that's what I'm going to go for. What about you?
So I've gone for so my choices are Wales, Russia, Ukraine, Scotland, Sweden, and Germany. And the teams I've selected are Wales, Scotland, Sweden, and Germany. Just because I reckon those teams could win a game. I guess Russia also could, but
yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, I think out of that list, those were probably the most likely ones.
Tell you what is a shame is that if we win the group, we actually get a harder opposition in the round of 16.
Yeah.
Because if we win it, we get second place out of the Germany, Portugal, France group. So unless somehow Hungary comes second, I'd be very scared for that game.
Yeah.
So what's your round of 16 first game?
My first round of 16 game is Belgium versus Sweden. So that's quite an easy.
Yeah, mine's actually Belgium, Portugal. So it's a bit of a bigger one. That's a difficult one actually, because I think it does depend on whether De Bruyne's back and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'd probably, even though Portugal, I'm putting them third, I'm gonna put them through in this one as well.
Okay.
So you've put through Belgium.
I've put through Belgium.
Okay.
So my second game is Italy versus Austria. So I've put Italy through on that one.
Mine's Italy, Ukraine. Again, I think Italy have to be the ones there. Some groups clearly have a slightly easier route, I guess.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
So my next game is France versus Wales. So I'm going with France on that one. Just, it's on a different level of quality.
Yeah, I'm France, Austria. So I think, France are definitely up there with the favourites. So
100%,
teams like Austria, I can't see them stopping them.
Yeah. So so you gone with France to beat Austria?
The next game for me is it's the sort of second of the England group, so Scotland v Poland.
Okay.
So I'd like to see us come second, if possible. Although I say that we'd have to play against France in the next round after that. So I don't think wherever we go, I think we're in a tough spot. Scotland, Poland, I'm going to put Poland through.
Okay. So I've got Croatia versus Poland. So I think that's a bit of a tougher game then. I'm gonna put Croatia, but I wouldn't be surprised if Poland would win that, because I reckon that game would be quite close.
Yeah, I think it would be as well. There's some good players on each team.
So I think Croatia probably just edge them on when it comes to players of quality, I guess.
Experience as well.
Yeah,
But
people like Modric, if he's on his top form.
yeah, I mean, we know what Croatian can do.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So, my next game is Spain-Croatia. So,
okay.
I'm actually gonna go with Croatia. I want to try and make it, a little bit different in this, because otherwise, if you just predict all the good teams, you're gonna make it go wrong some point along the way. There's gonna be upsets. So I'm gonna go Croatia to win against Spain.
So I've got Spain versus Scotland, and so I'm going Spain to win that, but
yeah,
I can't bring myself
I'll tell you what, it does make me question some of my earlier choices. I put Croatia through against Spain, but not to beat Scotland. Anyway, it's done now. I've got England, Germany. That's my next one. I think that'll be a very interesting one. But I don't know whether I'm just doing it because I want to, but I'm going to back England. I think we'd beat Germany.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we would, to be fair.
I think, they've got a half decent attack, but they're a little inexperienced defensively. I think we could. I think we could beat Germany. If we come up against either Portugal or France, I'd be a bit more worried. But
yeah,
who have you got?
So I've got England versus Portugal. So I've got to back the boys on this one.
Yeah.
So I've put England through against Portugal. No.
That would be a very interesting game with some big Portuguese names. But
I don't know though. I feel like we would have a chance to beat them.
Definitely have a chance. I think we have a chance even, in any game. But I think it all depends on the management and stuff. In terms of how we run the game.
What Southgate decides to do.
Yeah. Yeah. My next one is Netherlands versus Sweden. Sweden aren't a bad team, but I think this will be where their run comes to an end. I think Netherlands will beat them.
Okay. I've got Netherlands versus Germany. I'm going to put Netherlands through in this one.
Okay.
As well. Then what's your last game?
Turkey versus Denmark. Which is quite a, considering we've got some big games before that, Turkey-Denmark is a bit of not a letdown, but you know what I mean.
It's not the most interesting game out of that list, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, purely because I'm of a future prediction that I'm going to make in this podcast, I'm going to put Turkey through.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think there's too much to say on that. I think it's, two teams that are okay. I don't think they'll get much further than this, but it could be interesting. I think, they've got an easier route than some other teams, clearly. So we'll have to see.
I'm actually going to put Turkey through as well, because I've got Turkey versus Denmark.
Yeah.
I think Turkey could comfortably beat Denmark, to be honest, even though Denmark are a good side.
Yeah, I think it'll be a close one.
Yeah. What's your first quarter-final match?
Yeah, some good quarter-final games. Portugal v Italy is my first one.
Okay.
I think that'll be a close one as well, actually. I don't, I'm going to put Portugal through because I think they'll have too much quality. Italy seem to be a bit. They've got some good players, don't get me wrong, but they're a bit inexperienced in certain places and, too experienced almost in other places. People like I don't even know who plays for Italy at this point, to be honest. They're sort of they're in the similar stage to Spain where
it's like Spain and Germany.
Yeah, a load of people retired and they're sort of getting back to where they were. I'm going to put Portugal through.
Yeah. I've got Germany, not Germany. I've got Belgium, Italy. So I'm gonna put Belgium through on this one because, like you said, like Italy. I think when you look at teams like Belgium, France, like they're just on a different level to a team like Italy right now.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Italy do play in the Euros anyway, because they are a bit, they're almost like a new team in a way because they've had a lot of changes they've had to do.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your second quarterfinal match?
It's France versus Poland.
Okay.
So again, you know, I'd love to say that Lewandowski could carry his team through further than this, but I think France are way too good for that.
Yeah.
They've just got such an overall good squad that Poland's couple of standout players just can't really compete.
Yeah.
What have you got?
I've got France versus Croatia. So I'm going to be putting France through on that one as well.
Mm.
They're both good sides, but France they've just got people who can change games.
Yeah.
My next quarterfinal is an interesting one. It's Spain versus England.
Oh well.
Oh, that is a hard choice.
What do you think?
You know what? I'm back in England on that.
Yeah.
I do think we could beat. I think if we played against Spain, I think we could beat them.
Again, I think with a few of these games, it's more like whether it's just wishful thinking or like
Just
you're looking at
delusion.
like player for player. I think we are better than most of the teams in this tournament. I say most because there is France, there is arguably teams like Portugal and stuff, but I think player for player, I think we have got the squad to beat them, but it'll be interesting. I think.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Who've you got?
My one's actually another interesting one. It's a replay as such of the semi-final in the World Cup, England Croatia.
Oh,
So
that gives back bad memories.
it does. But this is where we turn them around.
Okay.
We turn them around and we beat them in these quarterfinals
Like
and us through.
Mandzukic turned stones.
Mandzukic is. He was 34 when that happened, I think, but he's got to be too old to play now. I'm banking on the fact that we don't have to play against Mandzukic, but I'm going to pick England through.
Well then. Now, this is my last game of the quarterfinals. I've got Netherlands versus Turkey.
Yeah, same.
I'm going for an upset here. I'm going Turkey.
Wow. Okay. I think if that happened, that would be pretty mad.
I feel like something mental is going to happen. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you got to go out with it because as much as saying, a Portugal, France, and for me anyway, it would be Portugal, France, and England v Netherlands semi-final. Like you can see a team that not shouldn't be there, but you wouldn't expect to be there getting there.
yeah.
Although it's difficult I'm finding it difficult to put Turkey through here. I really am. I'm gonna have to go with Netherlands on this one.
Interesting. Okay. To be fair, you've probably gone with the more logical choice of one.
It's logical, but I have gone with some off the cuff choices.
Yeah.
I can't see a world where Turkey beat Netherlands.
Semi-finals. What's your first semi-final?
It's Portugal versus France.
Oh.
So they've come out of the group, they've worked their way through, and they're back against each other. That'll be interesting actually, because they will have learned a lot of things about each other in the group stage game, probably. Who knows who could get injured on the way? things could change, and this is, I guess, this prediction is sort of, if everything sort of goes to plan. I think both teams could win this, but I find it hard to say that France won't get to the final.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put France through.
Now I've got Belgium versus France. Now this is a hard decision because I do really rate Belgium as well. So I think I'm just gonna have to go France for this.
Yeah,
it's hard to say no to France. Like,
it is, but I know I've put them through as well, but I feel like that is the sort of upset that we'll see. That sort of thing.
I don't, actually,
Like
I'm going Belgium actually. Something in my head is just going, you got to go Belgium.
I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just sort of saying, like, I can see that happening.
Yeah, I know. I just have that feeling that France aren't going to get to the final.
An England-Belgium final, that would be quite special. Yeah. So saying that, England-Netherlands is my other one.
Oh,
which is again a close one. Again, player for player, I think we're better than them. Without Van Dijk, with Van Dijk, I think we struggle to break them down. But I think if we've got everyone fit and on form, that I've been watching all the sort of build up to it, all the England players in the camp. They seem positive. I'm liking the look of it, and I'm liking the look of us in the final.
Now I've got England versus Turkey, so I've got to go with England.
So no more Turkey upsets then.
No, Turkey can fuck off after the first one.
After they beat the Netherlands. So that gives me. This is definitely wishful thinking, by the way, but I don't care. France England final.
Oh, who's it gonna be?
I've backed us all the way because I feel player for player we're better than them. But you know what? We've seen things happen this year in football. I've been positive in football.
I haven't.
Yep, but you didn't win the Champions League. I've seen us, be the underdogs, go into a game as we are here. Imagine it, and I know not for everyone, but imagine a Chelsea-England double in the year. Absolutely beautiful, and it's going to happen.
So for my final is Belgium versus England. So I'm just gonna have to go for a Belgian win on this one. This just gonna. Fuck no, am I? Bitch, I've got England. I'm gonna beat Belgium. There we go. Let's go. It's calm and I'm. Sorry, you could get out of copyright.
The predictions, it's definitely wishful thinking, and it was more like us trying to, look at our way, how we get to the final. It could be an interesting tournament for sure. And one thing that could also be interesting is the top scorer.
Oh.
So my top scorer is, there's a lot of people that you could put up for this. People like maybe Mbappe, Ronaldo, never. Who else? Muller, maybe.
Could even. I wouldn't say. Would say Kane could be?
Hey, yeah, Kane could be up there for sure.
He won the World Cup. Golden Ball, didn't he?
Yeah. Lewandowski, even if he gets to even the quarterfinal.
Yeah.
But
to be fair, you don't necessarily have to get that far because England didn't get far.
Yeah.
The quarters and Kane got the Golden Ball last time.
Yeah, I think I'm going for a team that I've got to be knocked out in the quarterfinals. Actually, it's definitely an outside shout again, But one person I was talking about earlier, and why I put Turkey to the point that I put them at, I'm going with Yilmaz.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
definitely an outside shout, but I didn't want to do someone like Kane, or because that's just boring.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Depay actually.
Depay,
It's a
okay,
bit of a random one, but
he has been playing well for them, so
yeah, he's been playing well just for the whole season as well and league on.
yeah, and obviously signing for Barcelona, as we were saying, confidence up, could be interesting.
Mm. So, is there anything else?
No, no.
One last thing I'm going to ask because is the podcast a bit shorter. So, about Depay going to Barcelona, do you think that's a good move for Barcelona and Depay?
I think
Or
for Depay, obviously, you're signing for Barcelona. It may not be in the best state that it's ever been in, but they're looking sort of signing some top quality players. It's a shame they couldn't get Wijnaldum. I think
yeah,
having sort of the Dutch trio in there would help would help them a lot. But signing Depay, I think they're looking at signing Donnarumma. They're not far away. That might be PSG, might be Barcelona. I can't remember which one. Um, I
they're
think
both just signing a load of people.
yeah, Barcelona seem to be on the hunt for a load of free agents at the moment, which is fair enough. There's some good free agents out there. Um, and I think for Depay, it's definitely a good move for Barcelona. They've only got Griezmann as their sort of striker at the moment, and he seems to. I think there was some small rumours about him leaving. Uh,
Yeah, I heard about that as well.
so playing alongside Messi, Depay, it's a no-brainer really, and Barcelona, he can score goals.
Does Messi have 1 year left?
Yeah, but he seems to keep on signing one more.
Yeah, even though I thought he made like a massive deal out of not being able to go last year.
Yeah, and then I think they just paid him sort of to keep quiet more
Yeah,
than anything.
yeah, I
Um,
guess.
yeah,
Yeah, but I guess overall that's quite an interesting transfer to see.
yeah,
Because
for sure.
especially how Depay, when he played for United, he got a lot of criticism then. And to
Mm,
see him now signed for Barcelona, it's not the best Barcelona side we've ever seen, obviously, but
it is still Barcelona.
is a Barcelona side. And realistically, like I wouldn't they could end up even winning the La Liga this year. You don't really know with them.
Yeah, I mean, last year wasn't a great title race. Well, it was in terms of entertainment, but in terms of quality wise, the three teams didn't. They're almost fighting out for who could lose it off each other,
Yeah,
and Atletico just about held on. But
yeah,
it, you know, Barcelona have made some mistakes clearly because they let Suarez go. Suarez wins the league.
Hmm.
So, I think Depay, he's developed a lot since he's left Man United as well. I think he's become a lot better player since he was then. So it should be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. But that's been another episode of the Football Experience. If you've enjoyed it, give it a like and subscribe and everything. And yeah, we'll see you next time, probably with some more Euros stuff.